Hello wine lovers, I'm going through some blind tasted wines, and I do taste a lot of wines outside of their established regions because I find it very interesting. Here I have a collection of wines from the producer called KVINT with more than 100 years of history. So we are in Moldova, big player with 20 million bottles of production, 2,000 hectares planted, and this is a study of the indigenous and also the international varieties. First one is the Raktsele 2016, which was always the most important grape variety in Georgia, Moldova, Russia, and this area. Showing very pure unoaked nose with restrained fruit, citrus, green apple. To me, this is very much like a Riesling in style, well adapted for both classic dry and off-dry styles. Crisp, classic bone dry with some spicy licorice, aniseed-like notes on the finish, but pure and crisp from the 2016 vintage. Next example is the Viorica, which is showing much more on the grapey, muscat-like side. There's a lime lemon, that touch of fresh grapes and white fleshed fruit. There's a herbal spiciness. Again, very pure and bone dry palate with a slight phenolic presence that we do find in this muscat related kind of expression. Again, no oak, classic bone dry and crisp. Next example, it's off dry from Pinot Grigio or Pinot Gris, which is showing more slightly riper fruit here with some yellow plum, but with green apple and citrus. And I think tasting it, it's to most consumers, this would probably be considered dry. There's a slight fruity sweetness that rounds it off, but I think that's quite related to the variety as well, because as Pinot Grigio is lower acidity, bolder fruit, so it kind of balances it for the style. And the last of the white ones is Irse Oliver, which is quite common grapes in Central Europe. I've seen this. Tasted this quite a lot in Hungary. This is also a muscat-related crossing, which is showing a very grapey nose with citrus zest. There's lime, herbal, and also some balsamic notes with youthful and white-fleshed fruit. Again, very floral with a milder acidity, so we feel the sweetness is a little bit higher, with light body, pure, fresh, and unoaked again. And coming to the red wine, this is the Fetiashka Niagara, which is one of the indigenous varieties of this area, if you think about Moldova and Romania. Showing plenty of spicy dark fruit here with quite exotic with leather, with incense, with pepper, dry spices. Palate is still quite youthful, very dense with I would say a rather high concentration of tannin, but the tannins are actually quite rounded already, and I like this vivid spiciness with the clove, the pepper, the aniseed, the licorice, and it does stay on the palate actually, and offers a very different expressions to the most of the grape varieties we know actually. So. And quite an interesting study, a very old wine country, but still not well known to the world.